Well, hello everyone. Come on in and welcome. You are watching Hypocritic GG streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Lou, I'm Cheatspeak, and we have a fun one tonight. It is the final stop, last stop on the train. Everybody off. This is the road to PAX East 2025, and we have arrived. Just about. It's time to play Animal Well, and rightfully so. Nice to see y'all. We have been bringing you convention-centric content in the run-up to PAX East for about the past month or so, and it is coming to its logical and final conclusion here with a game that has been very important for our particular PAX journey here on Hypocritic specifically, which is, of course, Animal Well. We'll talk about exactly why this game has been so impactful for us, what it's meant for the channel, what it's meant for the PAX experience when we've gone, and what we're going to be doing now that PAX East is under... well, it's probably, what, 36 hours away now? Something like that, a day and a half? 2 more sleeps until PAX East. Let's lead with that right up front. Before we do, the dice camera is on and active as usual, so exclamation point d20 in the chat. We'll have us roll that d20 that you see right there with some of those additional dice on board with all sorts of ridiculous stuff available for me to have to do in real time if you're so inclined, so take advantage. But the big feature that we want to call out, because it is one of the ways that we are opening our PAX East coverage and the experience here on Hypocritic this time around, is our participation in the LAN Fest charity stream zone. If you've seen this, you may have seen this on our Discord. You've probably seen it on some of our socials from time to time. But I will be streaming live from LAN Fest's charity stream zone on Thursday, May 8th, starting around 7:30 p.m. If all goes well, we will be playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and raising money for Child's Play, which is one of our go-to charities when we do fundraising events like this. They provide games and other fun therapeutic tools and resources to pediatric hospitals around the nation and around the world. A very, very worthy cause. One we'll be talking about more on Thursday in more detail. We'll be flashing this QR code throughout our time, but you can already start donating now if you're so inclined. Obviously not required, but we do have a specific goal we are going to try to hit throughout the run-up to the show and, of course, Thursday night. So, more to come on that as we go, but this will be happening on Thursday night. That starts at about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That should be up on the screen, but I didn't put that there. And if all goes well, we will be playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe live from the show floor before the tournament on Saturday, so that'll be very, very fun. Special thanks, as we mentioned frequently, to LAN Fest for helping, for bringing us on board with this and having us be a part of it, and Zotac as well as Canon for being the primary sponsors behind such a fantastic endeavor at the show. So we have a lot to talk about and a lot of Animal Well to play, so let's start playing it. We haven't touched this particular copy of it in a while. Just get absorbed in the atmosphere if you don't mind. It is already incredibly atmospheric. From the word go, this was incredibly captivating when we saw it at East 2 years running, as a matter of fact. And here we are. Just doing our little thing in this incredibly mysterious and cryptic world. Obviously, Animal Well is all about secrets, all about navigating this Metroidvania-esque maze of a world that you're in and uncovering as much as possible. Obviously, a lot of, if not all of the incredibly well-hidden and very obtuse secrets have been found by the community over and over again. But we were just blown away when we saw this by how incredibly creative it was, how unique the presentation was, the incredible technical story behind it, with the one-man development team of Billy Basso and his kind of lone gunner studio shared memory putting it all together. Really, really remarkable effort, and worthy of all of the praise and attention that it's received in the years since. The year, basically, because this came out around May, sometime in May of last year or late April, perhaps. But obviously an exceptional achievement. If you know anything about it, that will not be a surprise to you. Its Metroidvania gameplay obviously encourages you to explore this big sprawling world that you slowly gain more access to as you find new abilities, find new items in the world, and enable all sorts of different gameplay mechanics as you go. Of course, put you back on solid ground when you lose your footing. All those great details like these, you know, vines and objects dynamically reacting to you. You see that with the lighting system as well. And all in an in-house engine created by Billy himself. Truly an entirely one-man effort with essentially all of it his own endeavor, which, you know, is part of the incredible story of the game in the first place, and why, in large part, it has become kind of so captivating, is just how much uniqueness has gone into it from the perspective of one person putting it all together. And it's just gorgeous. Some of these lighting effects are just beautiful. And all in what? It's something like a 20 or 30 megabyte file. It is an incredibly tiny game because it's so efficiently optimized. Animal well? Yeah, I hope he's well. Oh, he's better than well for it. How we doing? Nice to see ya. We are probably not hanging out too long tonight because I have a lot of packing to do for PAX, as you might imagine. I'm good. We are just 2 sleeps away from the show, and it's going to be a big one this year. We were talking about some of what to expect at the top, probably right before you got in here, so I'll reiterate at least part of it. Forget how to light the candle. I don't have a... Do I need matches? I might need matches. A gorgeous egg! Wonderful. I probably have, it's, ooh. I don't know if you can hear it, but those dunking and splashing sound effects are just very immersive. Shit. So we'll go over all of the plan as we go here and sort of give you insight into what's going on. We'll obviously put it all in the Discord as well, so !Discord if you're not in there. We finally have the map that you can unroll. I just absolutely adore how cryptic feeling this game is. It feels like every inch of it is mysterious and odd and unsettling and unpredictable. There it is, !Discord. Thank you for that. There's just so little that we ultimately know about the world. You're just a blob. You just exist in it. There are a bunch of animals in this well, assumedly, and you just exist among it. And you're left to kind of tease it all out for yourself. And the very sort of lo-fi, super low-res presentation of it, I think, certainly helps with that cryptic feeling and the uneasiness of it all. It's just so captivating, where everything is potentially the... you know, a clue or a key to some other puzzle or some other solution for something. It's incredibly captivating from that point of view. Can I get up there? Probably need the frisbee. You obviously get a bunch of items as you go that make, you know, traversal more practical, and these things are super creepy. Everything's super creepy. But not in like an actively scary kind of way, just again unsettling. Physics. There we go. When is PAX again? So PAX starts on Thursday, May 8th, and runs through Sunday, May 11th. It is later this year than I can actually pretty much ever remember it being. Which I won't complain about, because it is certainly not super fun in the winter in Boston when you have to walk all the way to the convention center in cold, cold weather. Not ideal. Neither was that, to be totally fair. Nailed it, but that's not helping us. But I am that good. I can do that. Live Stardew Community Farm on Thursday night. Chickens need to eat. We have big plans for Saturday night, but it does not involve the community farm this time. Oh. Another egg. There's, what, I think 64 eggs in total hidden across the world, and of course it's very cryptic and challenging to find them all. Because why wouldn't it be? Oh, I'm not stuck down here permanently, right? I can just do that. But no, I'll pause again just to kind of quickly show you in case you missed some of the announcements or you're just coming in. We are kicking off the show this year with our LANFest charity stream zone participation. That's Thursday, May 8th, starting around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And you'll see this QR code popping up to download if you're so inclined. We'll also be sending out links to that. We'll be playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe directly from the show floor. All the benefits from the fundraiser go straight to Child's Play, a nationwide charity that provides games and other kind of fun, interactive, therapeutic materials to pediatric hospitals all around the country, which is very, very noble and very important. It's not mysterious, but it is important. And for further incentive, we will be offering some things to sweeten the pot and sweeten the deal as we go. So, for example, I can tell you the first 10 people to donate $20 to the stream via our donor drive page, which, again, we will have links to and make it very clear, will get a free Steam game of their choice worth up to $10. So we're definitely making that worth your while. And that's, again, the first 10 people to donate $20, and then the first 2 people, if they're so intrepid, to donate $50 will get a free Steam game of their choice up to $25 in value. So if you want Animal Well, it's $25 on Steam. It could be yours. And we are putting forward all of that as a thank you for everyone who donates along the way. So there may be other incentives as we go. I'm working on some other ridiculous kind of interactive stuff to make it even more enticing if you're, again, so inclined to donate. That's obviously not required by any means, but we are, as part of the participation in that, setting a fundraising goal, and it is kind of hoped or expected that we get at least some of the way there. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to meet some of that as we go. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. So basically, under that incentive structure, you get half of your money back, up to half your money back, in the form of a free Steam game if you give a $20 or $50 donation. I'm thinking about playing with that incentive structure some as well. So let me know if you think it would make sense to kind of split the difference, 25 instead of 20, 30 or 40 instead of 50. I want to have some amount of gap in there. So we will, and there will be other incentives too, like I said. Kind of treats this horse as a bit of a boss. You gotta be tricky about getting up to the switches here. Oh, so close. 2. I gotta figure my way up there somehow. Probably a lot easier if I had other items with me, but I have nothing of the sort, so we just kind of have to go with it. This looks promising. And it is indeed. Look at us go. Problem solved. And we got the bubble on. That's exactly what we needed. So that gives you that bubble that you can dynamically create and jump on to reach new heights. I like so. Platform's just a little too tall for you. Just a bubble. Just a wee bubble. Easy peasy. So what else we got for you? We gotta talk about the PAX a little bit more, right? I think this is probably gonna be content-wise our biggest show to date, and we've been putting a lot of effort into. Is that a fish? Is that just a fish? I'm concerned about that fish. So we have a lot of very cool games lined up to show you this year and tell you about in more detail. So you'll want to stay tuned to especially the YouTube channel all weekend long, because we will be posting pretty much every day on, you know, the channel interviews and different previews of things. We've got some really interesting ones that I think you're going to want to check out. And potentially more of them than we've ever had before. So it's going to be a very active show is what I'm getting at. No Animal Well this year for us, obviously, but you know, we'll talk a little bit about how important to our own journey Animal Well has been a little bit later in the night here. We can just ride those all the way up. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. There's nothing more I can do here. There's nothing up there for me, right? I guess not. If I kind of hit the end of how much I can do here, maybe. Kind of feels like it, yeah. We're getting our chill vibes in tonight. No, no screaming our heads off at cart this time. Where's the switch? Is there no switch for that? It feels like I just need the switch to get up that far, but I don't know where the switch is. Nor will I find it unless it's somewhere up there. But it has to be in the same room, doesn't it? Oh, there we go. Hidden with the vines, of course. You tricky Billy. You so tricky. And now, the key is you ride the bubble down and take the leap. Nom nom nom. Probably should have ridden that bubble too, so let's go back up. At least we kind of know what to do. A lot of this is pretty fresh because, like I was saying at the top, I haven't really played, and you saw in the loading screen, haven't really touched Animal well in about a year, so... We're getting it pretty fresh. Fresh out the oven. And there we go. We learn to just sort of ride that bubble. It's very intelligently. Very smart. And boom. You also learn, again, just through sheer experimentation, what works in terms of traversal and what doesn't. So, you know, for example, tossing a bubble into that fish's mouth and having it flush you around the pipes in the well. Very cool. And leads you to an entirely different part of the map, which now is kind of its own bubble puzzle. You kind of have to keep track of where you're going to go via the pipes. But we do have a lot, like I said, a lot of content planned for you for this show. We have more interviews lined up than perhaps we've ever done, which I think is going to be a really positive thing. We will have the Landfest charity stream, which we're putting a lot of effort into for Thursday night. And then from there, we have the Mario Kart tournament on Saturday, so your boys got to show up and show out, because naturally. Now we're down here. And it dumps you back. Okay. So, switches. Focused on switches. We have... What other fresh content do we have for you? We will have, like I said, a bunch of interviews. We will do probably another show floor live stream like we usually do, which will be very fun, because they always are. We will probably also do a fresh episode of Hypocritical and the podcast while we are there. Alright, that's now done. And I'm hoping that it is the much, much anticipated PAX story time with all of us at the show. And it will be a delight. And that is all of that for an egg, huh? Really all that happens here? I feel like there's more based on which fish I go to. But let's leave it there for now. Because now I can bubble up in all these places. Look at all the freedom I have with the bubble wand alone. I don't think that actually really helped me much. Will we finally get a Sonic ice cream review? That is a very good question. If it's there, if we can procure one, then I will absolutely do it. And I think that's very important to do. That is mysterious and important work, if I've ever seen it. You know? So we will certainly look into that. But yeah, it's, you know, show floor tour, it's podcast, it's a ton of game previews, it may be some extra live streams from the show itself as well, like maybe some more game time, maybe some additional live content there, but there will be plenty of pre-produced stuff for everyone to enjoy. Oh, we got the match. Okay, that's what we needed. Now you see all the puzzles, you know, from previous rooms get a lot more manageable. when you have items like that. I feel like I need the frisbee or the disc to cross that gap, so I probably can't do that with the bubble, but a man can dream. You guys mentioned who you are planning to interview yet. We have many queued up. I don't want to give away too much yet. Some are under embargo, so we won't be able to post or talk to them, post about them or talk about them until later in the show, if not after the show. Ooh, so here we go. The little peacock room that shows all the eggs you've gathered. And I love how these doors sort of denote how many eggs you need to collect before they open. So again, it's all very... It's reasonably well explained if you give it a little thought, but it is, again, so very cryptic, and it leaves all of it to you to figure out. It handholds nothing. It explains nothing, and you just kind of have to be okay with that if you're going to enjoy the game. Now, not everyone will be, and we reviewed this. This was actually the first review. We should talk a little bit about why Animal Well is so important to our PAX journey, and we're advertising it that way, so I'll get into that. But no kidding, it's blocked. Here's a little cubby holder. Do I firecracker that? I do not. Okay. They also benefit from the frisbee. And that I can't do without the frisbee, so I gotta find that frisbee. The disc, whatever it's called. I can't do that either without this, so this is very obviously designed for that. Let's hope this time you don't ask the Streets of Rage guys why the streets are angry, and he says economics. Oh no, that would be very bad. For context, I just jumped right over him. Did he really catch me as I went off screen? That's hilarious. Alright, so I can't really do much there until I do find the disc. You can see the 4 kind of flames and orbs we have to collect. Well, there's at least 3 of them that you see. I don't know where the 4th is, but that is the whole kind of objective of this. You find the 4 orbs and sort of get to the final area of it to beat it. Alright, so we may have to experiment and go elsewhere here, as one does. But yeah, so in 2020... which was, of course, in February of 2020, before the world fell apart, we interviewed, I think one of the main guys behind Streets of Rage 4, and we were joking around at the beginning, like, how angry are these streets, and why are they so angry? And he said, you know, I think they're really sick. I think they caught a virus, which, you know, then just a couple of weeks later, COVID, you know, tore the world up. So hopefully not a harbinger of things to come. There's a slinky here that we need to find, and that scary looking lizard guy. Right into the water. Very smart. Ooh, little porcupines. It would be funny, but I'd like to be a little less prophetic about it this time, ideally. We got a key. Love a nondescript key, don't we? There's our gopher friend. Or whatever he is, some kind of... I don't know what his actual terminology is. So what can I tell you about the games we have lined up? We have a few. There are some really interesting ones this year, and I think we have a really good slate of primarily indie fare, but not entirely indie fare, that I think will run the gamut and and showcase some pretty interesting stuff. I'm trying to think what else I can really tell you about. There's some cutesy cozy stuff. There's some kind of more involved stuff that's more kind of mechanically rich and deep. There's a lot of variety, and I think we're striking a good balance this time around of that sort of thing. It's all I think interesting. There's some old stuff that's returning. There's some new stuff that, you know, the world has never seen before, and it's going to be some blast from the past in some regards, some entirely new stuff, like I was saying, and it's going to be a good mix, I think. So that's all the tease you're getting. Just hold on to your butts, and you got to just tune in every day during PAX, and for a fair bit after the show as well, to just see what we got for you. So hopefully there will be, you know, 1 or 2 new interviews every day. Probably starting on Friday, since we're not going to have too much up, and the charity stream will be our main focus on Thursday. But then after that, it's open season, and we'll try to have, you know, content every day for you from the show. And then some. So it'll be good. So now, talking about this, why is Animal Well so important to our journey here? Well, as a fledgling channel, just, you know, kind of getting our sea legs, we did return to PAX East 2023 under the Hypocritic brand as formalized media and content creation again, so that was always a very exciting achievement to think about. And one of the biggest titles that we have seen across our time in terms of, you know, community interest and general interest from viewers has been Animal Well. So we've interviewed like I said, the sole creator of the game, Billy Basso, twice, once at PAX East 2023 and once at PAX East 2024, and both years ooh, okay, we got this. Both years those interviews ended up being among the most popular I'm thinking about this puzzle now, so is there a way I can get to that? Yes. Got a key. I wonder what it does. So the Animal Well content has routinely been our most popular stuff because there has been just such a kind of ravenous following for it, and a lot of admiration for what Billy built in this space, and with, you know, 7 years of his life, it was obviously just really, really impressive. Makes me nervous. So in, you know, PAX 2023, when the game was still a ways off from completion, you know, we did an interview with Billy, and that was, as I said, among some of our most popular content that year. And then PAX East 2024 was really when it fully hit its stride. We did a longer, I think, and more kind of in-depth interview with Billy that year, and that just took off. I mean, that's still, the content from that interview was still our most viewed stuff across the channel. It's our most viewed regular video and our most viewed short, and we're running out of health here. I think the interview with Billy is well over 10,000 views, the long form video. And that's that. All the way back. The short that we put out about him building the engine himself, well over like 60-some thousand views at this point. So it's all been very, very well received, and the community's obviously or was obviously super eager to learn as much about the game as they could. And frankly, he's just an interesting guy to, you know, hear from and pick his brain. So it was a huge kind of moment for us on the channel personally, not just to sort of get to talk to him multiple times, because he is always so incredibly gracious and generous with his time, whether you're, you know, IGN or a 300 some odd subscriber channel like ours. You know, that never really made a difference. So we were always grateful for that, and it just kind of proved incredibly popular and helped give our channel some momentum when it didn't have, you know, as much behind it, which we're grateful for. So it was very, very illuminating for us. And here's our Slinky. I love the Slinky, and the Slinky opens up a ton of possibilities here too. So that's huge, having the Slinky. As you can already see. So the short of it is just that, you know, we found ourselves, you know, amidst our most popular content to date, thanks to Animal Well. So we're grateful to that. We're grateful to Billy for how generous he's been with his time, you know, and sharing his experience about the game, you know, with stories that I'm sure he's told over and over again. We tried to pick his brain in slightly more creative ways. So it was just great. It was a wonderful experience for us, and really helped to give us some additional momentum for the channel overall. So that was always great, and that's the impetus behind the focus on Animal Well and why it is the last stop on our road to PAX East. So there you go, kids. Need the yo-yo for that one. There are, like I said, a bunch of different, Do these guys hurt me? They do. Billy Basso built the building blocks of the game, but bit by bit because he believed buyers would buy it. Say that 5 times fast. That is a legendary level tongue twister here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Got it. Nailed it. Where am I now? This is blocked off, yeah. Sus. It's all very sus down here, isn't it? It's dark now. That's all happening. I think I need some sort of light to scare them away. Is that it? Great. What did that get me? Is there a switch I'm missing? Probably. Yeah, see the light in the middle there, how it kind of fade out. Well, this'll help. Arms Tips is playing ARMS? No way. Hope you all have been enjoying the reviews, by the way. The last couple that we've put up have been also among our most popular to date, which is gratifying and always feels good. That's Splinter Cell Conviction and Rystar. Rystar performing about as well as any of these have in the first couple of days. So again, we're grateful for that. And Splinter Cell Conviction obviously has been huge, and that's, I think, our most viewed review to date. Even more than like Kamaeru, which is super cool, and that was previously the high watermark for us, so no complaints there. Am I going to be able to do this? Yeah, if I cheese it, I can, but now we're all the way back to the home base here. Why'd you say Rystar when it's pronounced Rystar? Because it's pronounced Rystar. Fort, come on. You should know this. Do I have to go all the way back there? I would rather not go all the way back there. I probably do have to go all the way back there. Ugh. I don't even remember how I got there. There hasn't been a save point in a while. Yep, didn't get that out in time. It's nice of them to leave fruit so my weary bones can rest properly. Brilliant. Firecracker a little faster. That's the whole point of that exercise. Oh, this gopher man spooked. Capybara. I'm dying a ton. That's okay. It's all chill vibes tonight. That's all it is. We're just ensuring our survival there. That's all that is. I gotta flip the switches again? That's annoying. What are you munching on? Nope. Whenever I see Rystar, it reminds me of the Jamiroquai hand meme. I don't know why. I can't tell you that either. Fort. Only you can tell you that. No. Okay. Damn it. Ever just blow bubbles at a wall? That's about where we're at with this. That'll do. Get him off of me. No! Right at the end, can you imagine? So there's really no save point in here, huh? We're just on our own. There's got to be better ways to get to this part, too. Right? Like, I couldn't have just whiffed on this completely. Alright, well, we're basically back where so where were we before? See, again, this is the advantage of not having played it in a while. It all feels pretty new. This was, like I was saying before, this was the first review that we actually did for Hypocritic when we started rolling out those kind of formalized bite-sized reviews. Gave it a 9 out of 10, 4.5 Gloobies out of 5, and rightfully so. Because it really does push the kind of Metroidvania genre forward, if you want to call it that. But it is just so unique in what it does with these mechanics. It's great. So I think what we, you know, the only real problem that it comes across is maybe being a little bit too cryptic for people who need a little bit of guidance. That makes sense. I did this so well the first time, and now I'm flubbing it. There we go. There's no fruit down here. What do we do? Continue exploring. That's what we do. I don't want to do the whole thing again. There's really no safe block there? Wow. It was just to my left the entire goddamn time. Isn't that wonderful? No game has gotten... Yes, that is correct. No game, either new or retro, has gotten a 5 out of 5 yet. That's not by design. We just haven't happened across a game that has earned that score yet in our estimation. For something to get a 5 out of 5 in that respect, it really has to be a complete masterstroke of the genre. Where it doesn't just execute so well on everything that it does, but it is almost kind of pushing boundaries or redefining the genre in some ways, whatever it is. So the closest any game has come is, I think Animal Well's gotten 4.5 Gloobies out of 5, and if I go through the list here quickly, I can tell you which other ones have gotten it. And some others have been really high up as well, and that's not, a bad thing, but we are really, really stingy with what earns a 5 out of 5, because that is really meant to be Donkey-esque masterpiece, right? It's supposed to be absolute best in breed, right? So going down the list of reviews here, I think Tempest 2000 got a 4.5 out of 5, which is, I think, well deserved. Let me look at the reviews playlist. We have 21 reviews to date, so that's pretty good. Going from the bottom, we have Animal Well, which got 4.5 out of 5. We have Rugrats Adventures in Gameland, which got a 4 out of 5. We have Tempest 2000, which got a 4.5 out of 5. We have both Splinter Cell Conviction and Rystar, which got a 4 out of 5. So quite a bit that have gotten impressive scores, and just no full-on masterpiece just yet. But I'm sure in due time that will come. The animal is doing well. Look how well this animal is doing. Look how happy this blob is just to be here. Vinny is back. I explicitly wanted to get here with more than 2 bars of health. I could maybe just bubble this. Yeah, there we go. See? Nothing to it. I can't bubble in here. Is that all I got from that? I guess so. Oh, there we go. It drops. Oh, okay. That's comforting. Love me rats. I was like, yeah, I assume they hurt me. I was like, well, now I've made them angry. Bye, squirrel. They kind of guide you along. A little bit. So the eventual Bioshock review will be 5 out of 5. Yeah. Yeah, it would. I would probably give... So, if I were to do those reviews today, I would probably give Bioshock 1... Now, I would have to thoroughly kind of replay them just so I have a fresh basis of comparison. But for me, Bioshock 1 has always been a 5 Glooby out of 5 masterstroke of the genre, especially given the year that it came out. you know, in 2007, it really did break the mold. And it was pretty incredible. BioShock 2 would probably get 4 out of 5 if I had to hazard a guess on how it would do today. Just based on having replayed it not terribly long ago. That would be my thought. And Infinite is just such a weird, kind of ugly duckling sort of case where I'm inclined to probably also give it a 4 out of 5. Which I know people were sort of really high on it when it first came out, and the reviews were great, and they were like, oh, it's another, you know, masterpiece from Irrational and all that. I truly don't think it's anywhere near the level of crispness that BioShock 1 was in terms of execution and creativity, nor do I think it's as intriguing or fun gameplay-wise as BioShock 2. I do think it goes backwards from BioShock 2 in some respects. So, listening to what you rate Infinite, there you go. Yeah, it would probably be a 4 out of 5. Which maybe I'm a little more whelmed on it than most or others. I just... Worst of the 3 is probably not a good way to put it, but I would maybe say something like least best. Is that fair? Out of them. Now, I am a big supporter of BioShock 2, and I do think that it didn't really get its due when it came out just because it was off the heels of the first one. It is admittedly less innovative. It doesn't completely, you know, break the mold like the original did. But it you know, still I think is great in its own right. I think it is in some ways more interesting and robust from a gameplay perspective than the first one is, with being able to have like your plasmids and your weapon out at the same time. There's a lot of fluidity to that the first one sort of lacks, and other such tweaks. Will the Slinky do this? Yes, it will. I remember this part vividly. Ring, ring, banana phone. Not super helpful, was it? What are we saying here? Well, we got Vinny. I'm still trying to come up with a quip to comment on Rise Star. Dang it. I trust it will be worth it when you do. You come up. You are A+. You just, it's banger after banger. The Vinny legacy is strong. I know this. We all know this. I actually got to see Vinny in person the other day. M was in town. Well, I was in town and M was in town. Everyone was together for Full Metal's birthday not too long ago, just this weekend, in fact. And it was great to catch up with everyone. I haven't seen Vinny in a long time, so that was really nice. Love me pals. So we love seeing our pals. Two. A wee little slinky puzzle. There we go. What do we say? Yeah, I played the whole series in under a week over 10 years ago, and Infinite was my least favorite. Okay, that tracks. Yep, we agree. Everyone was at first in love with it, especially the partner dynamic, but it fell short in a lot of other spots once the honeymoon phase ended. I think that's true, and we could have a whole dissertation on the 3 BioShocks and where they've all sort of landed across time. I remember, even at the time, that didn't go so well, did it? I think I just pissed them off. What is this gonna accomplish? I don't know where Slinky's going. Slinky! Come back, Slinky. Oh, I ride with it. Yes. This makes a lot more sense. I was watching Slinky go when I was supposed to be with Slinky. All that for an egg. Ain't that quaint. Crows are out here making me noisy. That was a much easier egg to find. Are you spitting at me? Don't be spitting at me. I just wanted to steal your eggs. They're expensive now in this economy. Still a good game, but near the end I was just thinking, wow, this is a lot. When is it going to be over? Not everything was super riveting. Let's put it that way. And now, to be fair, not necessarily every single moment of either BioShock 1 or BioShock 2 were, you know, Oscar worthy, but by and large, I think those games were paced really well. Largely, you know, varying from interesting to riveting throughout. On first glance and at first go, I did think BioShock 2 maybe dragged a little bit in the middle when you're just running through all the slums and there's not as much variation in the locales that you're visiting versus like Bio 1, but still damn good to be clear about that. It's not bad, just not as crispy as the other entries felt. That's exactly right. It's, again, probably, like I said, a 4 out of 5 on its own merit, and that doesn't make it bad. In fact, that makes it very, very good. That is a great game on our scale, if you want to sum it up in a word. So, that's not meant to be derogatory at all, just that I think Bio 1 and Bio 2 are a little better. Well, I think BioShock 1 is, like I said, just a masterpiece and a miracle of game creation at that time. Bio 2 just a little bit better. The rare Vinny sighting in the wild, that's right. Love me pals, love me games, love me beverages, love me emperor, love me eggs. It's all love. It's all love. In this. Is it not? Is it not? Alright, how are we doing here? I'm just kind of meandering. There's no real rhyme or reason to where we're going here. We can try to explore a different area as well. Now that we have the Slinky, which will enable more exploration too. So that's I would like to maybe take a look at some of the BioShocks in due time here. There's a lot on the docket in terms of the next few reviews. I think, well, since you're all here and watching on the end of the road to PAX East, let's let you in a little secret. Probably around the halfway mark here on the stream tonight. Maybe a little bit farther. I do have a ton of packing to do before we head out to Boston tomorrow, so I can't be streaming too late tonight. But let's go into the drive and talk a little bit about what's on tap in terms of upcoming reviews. So, let me just find my folder. I got it. I kind of got it. So, the few that I have here... Yes, okay. So, I have a bunch queued up in varying states of completion. So let's let you in on that. Let's give old Blobby a break. Let's clue you in on where we are with some of these reviews. How about that? So we've got on the back burner, which are ones that I've sort of had in varying states of completion, but I'm not really actively working on at the moment, are Mario Strikers Charged, which I'm really jazzed about reviewing, and Nintendo Switch Sports. That I started a while back and just never got too far with. There are 4 scripts that I have in varying states of completion at the moment, and some of which you will see my face and my voice. You'll hear my voice, you'll see my face as the presenter on that. Some you may see others. There's Wii Sports, which I think is not the only Wii branded game. I want to take a look at something like Wii Music or Wii Party as well. But Wii Sports is pretty much entirely written. Mini Motorways we've had on the docket for some time. That's entirely written, and I was probably going to be presented by someone else, but I may end up doing that one. ARMS is in the early stages, as is Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which is also one that I've wanted to kind of formally take a look at for a while. So there's a lot kind of cooking, and there will be plenty to come. Like I said, there's even ones that I very much have on the docket and haven't had a chance to start yet. So fear not. That alone, if I do one every other week, that's, 6 reviews? That's 3 months worth of reviews in varying states of completion, so. Status on the ARMS, I think you know it's spaghetti already. That is damn clear. Don't you fret. Don't you worry. So, if you're just joining us, if you are catching up on things, this is the end of the road to PAX East 2025. This is going to be our biggest show to date, and we have a ton of stuff. We have a ton of interviews lined up for new and upcoming games from indie publishers and big names in the field. So you'll just have to tune into the YouTube channel across this weekend and beyond to see what we have cooking up for you. Our biggest thing of note and how we're kicking off the show this weekend is, like I said, the LANFest charity stream zone that we are participating in this Thursday night, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're probably, in all likelihood, going to be streaming Mario Kart 8 Deluxe right from the show floor later on Thursday night if you're on the East Coast, having a grand old time, living it up, and raising money for Child's Play, which is, if you're not familiar, a charity that distributes and gives out games and other kind of interactive therapeutic materials to pediatric hospitals around the nation. It's one of our go-to charities when we do fundraising events here on Hypocritic, and we love what they do, always have. There's a QR code in the top left, and you're going to be seeing that a lot. We are going to be, if you are so inclined and able to help donate to a cause like that, there's going to be a lot of goodies for you if you do. We do have a fundraising goal that we're trying to hit that night, and there will be incentives. So, for example, if you are one of the first 10 people to donate $20 while the stream is going, or before it, like I said, that fundraising link is live, which I will also drop in the Discord and in the chat and all these different places, you will get a free Steam game up to $10 in value delivered by yours truly. So the same will go if you're feeling incredibly generous and you are one of the first 2 people to donate $50, you will receive a free Steam game of your choice up to $25 in value. So really trying to make it worth your while if you do have the means and choose to support a cause like this. We want to be able to reward you with, paying it back in terms of actually getting a game yourself that maybe you've had your eye on. I think that cuckoo in the background goes off every hour of game time, like play time that you have, which is really interesting and a little unsettling because there is a lot of time-based elements in this game, and I just think that's fascinating. Like most of it, it's just so damn cryptic. Everything just sort of happens. Leave me alone. Trying to think what I haven't directly done here. Again, it's so cryptic and there's so much you have to kind of tease out for yourself. It is relatively easy to lose your place and kind of lose direction, and that's probably what I knocked the game for the hardest back in the day. All of last year when I reviewed it. Just that it can feel a little directionless and a little too cryptic for those who want even like a touch of guidance. You just don't get it, and that may be enough to kind of put some off to the concept. Generally, I think you would know if this sort of game is for you, so it may not be that big a deal in the long term, but it's something to consider regardless if this is, kind of on your radar. You have to figure out basically the entire thing for yourself, sans walkthroughs or something like that. Been playing Bioshock 1 lately on and off, and forgot you got the bee attack in it too. Yeah, that automatically makes it a 5 out of 5 experience. No questions asked on that one. Not the bees. Where else can I go? We've already seen quite a bit of the map, but there obviously is so much more to explore. Have a look. Something, something. Book reading. Rainbow. Isn't that right? So I'm hyped, and we've probably talked about it too, but I know that, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah, they're in my eyes! Ah! I know that Full Metal and Xerox will be at the show as well. I think they'll probably mostly be working on stuff for Full Metal's channel, but we may cross paths at some point, who's to say? But we have a very, very full plate in terms of Hypocritic cooking up stuff, so we'll certainly be keeping ourselves busy. I'm exhausted already. Just thinking about all the shit we gotta do. It's gonna be pretty well loaded. Is there anything more for me to really do? Maybe. What are your thoughts on this sort of thing, chat? So like I said, this, essentially you have no guidance and no real direction in this sort of game, so it isn't entirely up to you, essentially, to figure out what the hell you're doing or where the hell you're going. Would you personally stand to benefit from a little bit of direction in something like this? In, you know, whatever form that would take. A more obvious map. We found a key. Let's see where it goes. A more, you know, maybe some more obvious signage or just general direction pointing. Or do you feel that something like this benefits from basically having zero hand-holding? Oh, that's not horrifying at all. Yeah, I forgot about our ostrich friend being an absolute nightmare. Please stop. Horrible. The sounds it's making too. There's a fourth. Oh god. I think I'm out of firecrackers too. Leave me be. It's that slow dirge of like dome, 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 dome with the real lo-fi synth in the background that just really seals the deal there. All the way down. Well, that's a pretty place to land. That firework in the dark gives me chaos energy vibe of setting one off in a bedroom. That is chaotic evil. Just straight up on that one, isn't it? Lighting your firecrackers in your bedroom. Hey mom, hope the home insurance is up to date. What? Ka-chow. Or some such. This looks promising. We got the yo-yo. It's time to yo. We are going to be out here yoing. It's pretty. It's so pretty down here. Again, it's amazing with such a sort of low-res aesthetic what this game does with its visuals is just remarkable. The yo-yo just gives you endless possibilities, doesn't it? Can you toss it up? You can. Boom. Love me yo-yo. The yo-yo master did not answer, for he just kept on yoing. A solid yo indeed. Sun's up, guns up. He eats a pack of lit firecrackers into Pal's room. Jeez. You're going full aggro, Crag, on that one, huh? I mean, I don't blame you, necessarily, but... the fact remains that it's full aggro Crag, no more, no less. My dream as a kid, if you remember Guts, that show, the like... athletics game show on Nick. My dream, despite not being a particularly athletic kid, was to go on Guts. Hello, Frog. Are you Frog? Bye-bye. Where am I? What are you? That just looks very concerning. A lot of those early 90s Nick game shows were like the dream. Okay. Who the hell asked you? What are you pissing and moaning about, broski? I didn't ask for your opinion. What? Why are you so angry? Oh, kangaroos sound like that? I mean, kangaroos are terrifying. In real life, if you've ever actually seen one or you've seen videos of one, they are horrifying and incredibly intimidating creatures, actually. They will square up on you without a moment's notice. They do not give a shit. It's very humbling and spooky. Don't think I have anything to really fight it off with, so do we just risk it and try to... Yep. Cheese it. Oh, he can jump. Okay, yep, that's cool. Oh, up we go. New adventures, new adventures. I love how interconnected the world is, in that you can very clearly see... Whoa. Different parts of the map that you will eventually get access to that you don't currently have. You know, important little bits to note for later. You get little previews of what's to come. It's just, it's all very intelligently thought out. And again, very, very illustrative without... Oh, I didn't quite get there. Without revealing too much, you know? Oh, don't squeeze me. Don't squeeze me! Really leaving a lot to your own thoughts and imagination. How do I... You hear cats in the back. I don't know if you really hear them here, but... There's cats in the background. It's, again, very disconcerting. Oh, first try! Man. What are the odds? Well, okay. Wonderful. Just a rat on a wheel it is. What a life. What a life it's living. Hi, rat. Aha! That was a complete... just bit of experimentation. See, chat? That's what can happen. You just try different things and experiment in the world and stuff will happen to you. Wonderful. Down we go. Whole new part of the map. We want to get over to Mr. Fish. We gotta go over here first. How about this fish? Oh, there's your cats. Someone just cage up the kitties. I never understood that. I mean, there's a lot in this game I don't understand. There's a lot that's just, again, cryptic as all hell. But, cats in cages. So it goes. Oh. Yeah, you can forget them. Clear everything out as you go. We love that. Can't do that yet. Can't switch that direction right now, and I need all 3 of these, yeah? I do, so maybe there's something this way that I missed? Kind of. Yeah, we gotta do this. But how? Alright, let me take a look here. That gets dragged along. Understood. Okay. That's one. I guess we gotta go in and try to get the rest, yeah? Not gonna do it. Just throwing the... Is it just throwing the yo-yo, or what triggered that for the rat there? Is it just getting near it, maybe? Okay. You can still hear the cats in the other room. And it's all very immersive, but ooh, super unsettling at the same time. Still a credit to how much you can do. So much from so little. That's the sailor's way. I think I do need to change the direction of these. Now I can get that third one, yeah? Puzzle time. Puzzle games on stream is always a bit of a risk. I don't know how many times and I'm sure you've seen other streamers just struggle with particular puzzle games that... Did I? Is this a separate... Oh, you know what? Yeah, there we go. Is this a separate twist we have to make? Maybe. Now we're going this way. I don't know. You just kind of get distracted and on to the next random thing. Didn't feel very helpful. Does this only affect ones in this room or elsewhere? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Definitely can't get up there. That much we know. And I can't get back, I don't think, unless I turn the the platform's the other way, so maybe we're just hosed. Yeah, because that's that part. And see, this is sort of what happens. You get locked into these particular parts of it, and you just kind of go around and around with the puzzle for a while. Because see, now I can get back this way. Wow. I wonder. Oh. Yes, so I can just go this way now. That makes more sense to me now. Just like that. That was a long one. Wow. My pal's blowing up the tri-state. That was a big boom. That gets how many big booms? That is the sort of internet that I'm not well versed in. Something about the Costco boyos. Not me, fam. Phil Bar. Was I supposed to do something else while I was here? Yep. Look how intricate these puzzles are. Now we turn him going that way so that I can get up to that third. Whatchamacallit? Hit that button. That's how elaborate some of this stuff gets. It's interesting too. So I would highly encourage you to watch our interviews with Billy. How do I turn this one now? Maybe I don't. There we go. I highly encourage you to watch our interviews with Billy on the YouTube channel. I was going to clip them out and run one or two while we went to break, but there won't be any breaks tonight, it looks like, so it's okay that I didn't. Now I have to do this. Here we go. I'd really encourage you to listen to those interviews, and there we go. He kind of explains his thought process on making the puzzles in the game and how the levels came together and how the engine design kind of influenced a lot of this stuff, and he is just a fascinating creator and developer to listen to. So I highly encourage, we have, like I said, 2 interviews with him from PAX East 2023 and 24, respectively. And if you haven't seen them or listened to them, highly encourage you to do so, because he is just a really interesting guy. Ooh. Always fascinating conversations that are worth your time. Are you for real? I see. Now we just jump out. All right. Well, that was an adventure, but we got that open. To a phone, no less. I wonder. Aha. I do all 4 at once. I definitely cheesed this part. I have no idea how I did that. More what does this well have against cats? They're a menace to society, apparently, in this world. Now we gotta... Is that what that switch does? No, it's based on where I am relative to it. I see. It sees me. Okay. Didn't know that would happen. Absolute terror field. This game is terrifying sometimes. It is true. It's not in that sort of traditionally scary sense. It's just the very unsettling and creepy noises and animal designs and how it all kind of comes together in, again, that very cryptic lo-fi kind of way. It's just very disconcerting. And that is part of why the game, I think, is so appealing, is because of how unique and strong its aesthetic really is. There's obviously a lot of mileage that it gets out of that. Ride the bubble up. Cats, ostriches, and joeys, and everything is straight up a horror show, as you might expect. Damn it. The well is not a kind place to be. But we've always known this. I have to go all the way back up. Yeah. And again, all on one bit of health. Dude's just blinking for his life out here. God. Work with me, cats. Got nothing else going on in there. Okay. And again, they just make the most, like, unsettling noises. That's probably the only other thing that I really earmarked when we were reviewing the game. The fact that because you often end up spending a lot of time in these specific puzzle rooms and doing a lot of the same thing over and over again when you inevitably kind of mess it up, some of the sound design does start to grate a little bit. Am I missing something? I could probably just bubble up on those things, right? That would make sense. So something like that, where it's just like the sad cat meowing over and over and over and over again, does kind of get a little stale. Or, you know, some of the really, really simplistic music cues that you get when you're fighting some of the bosses or some of the bigger characters. I don't know what that accomplished. Again, very minor nitpicks in the grand scheme of things because this game does so much so well. Now I'm in this thing. Now I'm in bed, I guess. Oh. Well, isn't that interesting? Over yonder. I can't get out of here, though. Squish! That's fine. And honestly, that might be a decent place for us to stop anyway, because like I said, we have a lot of packs to bring you, and I got not a lot of time to get packed and ready for it. So a few programming notes before we go, and obviously this is a very important set of programming notes since this is PAX East 2025. We are at the end of the road. Hope you enjoyed our kind of look back on PAX present and future of, you know, specific games over the past 10 years of my experience as media and content creator at this show, and some of the games that have stood out to me over time and why they've been special and impactful on us. So hope it's been an interesting look back at memory lane. We're going to be doing a lot more of that once we're at the show this year, again, kind of bringing you the coverage with that eye of what have the past 10 years looked like for us, and what do we think the next 10 are going to bring, and everything in between. So, again, we're bringing you potentially more interviews and more hands-on previews of games than we have at any other show to date. If I go back onto YouTube, which if you're not subscribed on the YouTube, you absolutely need to be, because that's where, you know, all of this stuff is going to end up being hosted. PAX East 2024, we had 9 reviews. We had 9 videos come out of that one. We had Animal Well, we had Belly Bumpers. This is just the 9 in total, including all the live streams. So we had Animal Well, Belly Bumpers, Rugrats, Sonic Roll, Deathbound, Memories Reach, and Kama Eru. That's 7. I think we'll land right around there, if not a little more. I'm hoping for a little more out of this show. And then potentially a live stream. We'll obviously have the charity live stream, and then maybe another like kind of free play later on in the weekend, and then the show floor tour, which will in all likelihood probably be Friday or Saturday. We jury's out on that one for the time being. But the big marquee thing, Live Laugh PAX. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make that little decal to put up in the back there. The big thing, of course, is once again our participation in the LANFest charity stream zone. This is powered by LANFest and sponsored explicitly by Zotac, Canon, and many others. We'll be participating Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll keep advertising this. We'll post about it, and we'll probably go until close to about 10 o'clock Eastern. We will be supporting Child's Play, which again is a nonprofit that distributes games and all sorts of different kind of interactive therapeutic materials to pediatric hospitals all over the country and all over the world. So there's a lot of value in that, and we are very, very happy to be participating and raising some money for them. There will be a funding goal, so you'll see this QR code and other donation links throughout the next couple of days as we rev up and get there. We do have a fundraising goal we're trying to hit, so anything you can do to help us get there is obviously much appreciated. But if you're able to contribute specific amounts, namely the first 10 people to donate $20 and the first 2 people to donate $50 will get specific rewards. Namely, if you donate $20 and you're one of the first 10 to do so, you'll get a free Steam game of your choice, to the tune of up to $10. And similarly, if you donate $50, you're one of the first 2 to do it, you will have your choice of a Steam game up to $25. So basically, some of those incentives, you will get half of that money back in the form of a free Steam game of your choice up to that amount. So again, we're trying to sweeten the pot. We're trying to make it worth your while to donate to these causes and make it you know, worth your time and worth doling out the money if you're so inclined. But if anything else, I guess we're just asking for the engagement, right? This is obviously a really big stream for us. We're very grateful and thankful to LANFest for allowing us to come in there and produce some content at the show, using all their stuff and to link up with all this fundraising. And we're obviously appreciative to, you know, the folks at Zotac and Canon and everyone else for contributing gear and technology and all sorts of other resource to this. So we really want to make the most of it. If there's any stream that you end up catching during the year, it should probably be this one. But obviously we want you at all of them. But this is a really impactful and important one. So we hope you'll consider joining us, and we hope you'll consider donating to that as we go along. Again, we're going to try real hard to make it worth your while, and we will try to delineate and talk more about exactly, you know, what other incentives there will be in the run-up to showtime, because there will be more, but that's what we're leading with. At any rate, oh, it's finally time, folks. PAX East is 2 sleeps away, and at this point, it's probably like 24, 30 hours or less. So we got a lot to do to prep ourselves for you, and we're kicking things off and getting a lot done like as soon as we get there on Thursday morning. So As always, if there's something that you really want us to take a look at the show, post that in our Discord in the PAX East 2025 channel. Go on the expo list on the PAX East website, the expo, the exhibitor list. Check out the expo hall. See if there's anything that really piques your interest or is something that you really want us to check out that's not out there in the world just yet. And obviously, we take that into account. But we have a really interesting slate of games coming up that we're excited to show you, and hopefully you're going to enjoy the coverage as always. So get subscribed on the YouTube if you're not watching on there. You know how to find us for all of these things. Thanks so much for tuning in. This has been the Road to PAX East 2025. PAX, present and future. I'm Lou, I'm Cheatspeak. Always appreciate you joining us. This has been Animal Well to cap off several weeks of impactful PAX East games for us, and we're bringing you a fresh slate of content from the show come Thursday. Keep it tuned here, folks. Stay fresh, cheese bags. We'll catch you back here real soon.